I think for the moment, this episode represents the high watermark of the club, and I'll explain why in just a minute. It's not because we beat West Ham 4-0, and it's not because we beat Wolves 5-4, although, in all honesty, we pulled a Bournemouth and stopped playing after the 70th minute this time, and Pietro Negro scored a hat-trick's worth of goals that brought them really, really close, and he had a clanger near the end of the game, too, that if it had gone in, would have been a draw, and I would have screamed in frustration and walked away and not turned on the game for a while. We beat Leicester 1-0 thanks to an Eze goal in the 81st minute. We beat Fulham 2-1 thanks to goals by Pellegrini and Fatawu, Isahaku. He's got one of those names I'll pronounce it 20 different ways, and probably all of them will be right and all of them will be wrong. Now, what I mean by high watermark is that we are currently in second place. Chelsea's a point behind us. Liverpool's 2 points behind us. Man United is 3 points behind us. There's a distinct break between Man U and Newcastle. But at the same time, we are 15 points behind Man City. So they've got a stone cold lead pipe lock on first place. And really, the only way we can go from here is down. We've been getting very lucky in that the injuries have not been too severe. I've been, bruised thigh here, something there. But we got Man City today in the FA Cup 5th round, and then we're playing Borussia Dortmund in the Euro Cup 2nd knockout round. So I'm thinking probably both our cup runs are going to come to an end today. I think we have a puncher's chance of beating Borussia Dortmund. And if Man City doesn't take us seriously, we have a decent chance of beating them too. But Man City not taking us seriously is not something I would want to bet on. So it's going to be a triple live com today. We're going to play Man City first. We're going to play Everton and Arsenal offline and do the home and away against Borussia Dortmund. And fingers crossed, maybe make a prayer to the FM God, pull a Zealand and spend 20 minutes praying. That might help us, but probably not. So this is the squad we're starting today against Man City. We got Iturbe in goal, Riedewald, Zagadou, Anderson, and Guehi as the defensive back four because Admiral is out with an injury for a week. Stockbridge and Sayoni as the midfielders. Eze and Fatawu as the attacking midfielders because Olise is coming off an injury. And then Clark and Pellegrini up top as the strikers. So the nice thing is Riedewald is a very capable backup at defensive left back, and I would have no problem starting him if I didn't have Admirola. Foden on the corner kick in. João Felix is there, but it's just wide right. Corner kick in again. Pellegrini knocks it away. And that is the highlight. That was interesting. Eze, corner kick. Sends it in. John Clark is there, but Bazunu? I have no idea who that is. Bazunu stops it. Is he a new gen? Bangs the ball forward. Mbappe heads it down to Zinchenko. He runs forward, taps it off to Sanchez, who feeds Mbappe and Iturbe. A very nice stop. Well, Mbappe was offsides. Foden from distance, knocked away by Zagadou. Sterling's going to totally out-hustle my guy. Eze. Felix to Mbappe. To Bruno, to Cancelo. Bruno again. There's freaking 3 Manchester players over here and nobody marking them. Foden. To Mbappe, and he does Mbappe things and scores. Literally 3 Manchester players over there. Stockbridge to Eze to Clark. Some nice one-touch passing there. Clark turns around and gets it to Stockbridge. Stockbridge back to Riedewald. He centers it to Sayoni. Back to Stockbridge. Long cross the field to Guehi. Guehi, top of the box for 2. Takes the shot and he puts it in. That was nice. His 6th goal of the season. A 20-yard shot. That was well struck. I really thought Guehi was going to charge in. Then I remembered he's not that type of back. Fatawu, on the other hand, does have that sort of shot in him. I don't know who their keeper is. You know what? I'm going to pause the game here real quick. Gavin Bazunu. 22 years old. Irish. He's not a regen. He's not a new gen. He must be their second squad guy. Half hour in, Zinchenko on the throw-in to Mbappe, dispossessed by Guehi. That's not something you'll see every day. Pellegrini across the field. Sterling steps in front of Clark. Gets the ball to Sanchez. Sterling back out to Cancelo. No one in front of him. He holds it up. Oh, he's dispossessed. Clark gets by the defender. He's not the fastest guy. Takes the shot. He puts it away. Holy cow. What a nice job by Jordan Clark. I don't know who the Man City guy was running up behind him. We'll find that out here in a bit. So there Clark gets the ball. Whoever that is, that's Raheem Sterling. From the sideline point of view, it looked like Sterling was going to run him down without a problem. Clark's only about a 12-12 at this point. I'm sure he'll improve. Cancelo up to Sterling. Gets it to Sanchez. Sanchez between the defenders. Takes a shot. Goes high and left. Said it grazed the top of the goal. I'll buy that. They're not counting as a woodwork hit, though. Zinchenko on the throw-in. João Felix to Mbappe. Mbappe weaves in and out. Takes the shot. He hits the crossbar. Corner kick by Foden. Pellegrini heads it away. Mbappe runs it down. He centers it. João Felix kicks it out of bounds. No, Anderson kicked it out of bounds. Foden sends it in. Knocked away by Anderson. Mbappe runs it down. Oh, he's dispossessed by Fatu. Zinchenko. João Felix gets it to Mbappe, who hits the shot. City got him on a free. Had his choice of teams to sign for, and he chose to go with the big guys. I inquired. He laughed at me. Anderson. Sayoni. Pellegrini. Back to Anderson. Over to Zagadou. Up to Riedewald. Riedewald long pass towards Eze. Cancelo's going to get there. Bazunu out to Zinchenko. Mbappe one taps it over to Bruno. Mancini to Sanchez to Sterling. Back to Cancelo. Sterling crossed the field to Zinchenko. No one in front of him. He's going to pass up into space for Mbappe. Stops him from going out of bounds. Gets it to Foden. Foden takes a shot. Misses high and right, but it was close. And Felix hits the crossbar again on the header. A lot of highlights this match. Sayoni up into space. He's not going to get there before Laporte. Bazunu back to Laporte. Up to Zinchenko. He gets the ball to Mbappe. Mbappe drops it off to Foden. Up to Zinchenko. Back to Mbappe. Running unopposed down the left. Holds it up. Crosses it in. Foden's there. And again he misses high and right. Ball's knocked away. I'm not quite sure why that was a corner kick. Maybe one of my guys hit it before it went out. But it is now halftime. We are tied 2-2. It's a Desmond. They have 18 shots, 6 on target. We've had 7 and 4. They've had 6 half chances. We've had 2. They've had 6 long shots. We've had 2. We have a slight possession advantage. But you know what? We're doing really well. If they're going to win, we're going to make them earn it. Fatu, right to Bazunu. Bazunu lost it forward, headed down. Mbappe one-on-one with Iturbe, and he tries dinking Iturbe, but Iturbe stayed on his feet and caught it. He just picked up an injury. Look at it after here. Zinchenko. Ball's headed away. Foden runs it down. Centers it in. Mbappe scores. I really don't want to see that again. We'll take a look at Guehi, see what's going on with him. Bring Kusunu on. Zinchenko on a throw-in. Mbappe heads it down to Sanchez. In the crowd, he backtracks and gets it out to Cancelo. Cancelo long across the field to Mbappe. He crosses it in. Ferran's there with the header. Iturbe went up for the interception, and just it went through its hand. It looked like it went through his hands. Mbappe crosses it in. Iturbe went for the ball instead of going for the block. And Ferran was right there. I'm just going to go down to balanced, hope the guys don't get hurt. Felix goes wide right. Brought Verscheren on for Sayoni. Sayoni was gassed. Kasuna just bombs it forward, goes to Ruben. He gets it to Cancelo. Cancelo crosses it in. Iturbe makes a very nice stop. Zagadou just bangs it out of bounds. My midfielders have not done well this game. Sanchez, Felix. Oh, Iturbe, very nice block. Goes right to Mbappe, though. He gets his hat trick. We play them tough for a half, but stuff like this, you can't... The ball's round. Weird stuff's going to happen. You know? Iturbe made a very nice save, and it went right to Mbappe. I can't fault him for that. I can't fault the fact that we have no shots this half. Like, none. We were 7-4 going into the half. We're going to end the game on 7-4. That was a nice header by Ferran Torres. Nice cross by Zinchenko. My defender absolutely forgot Ferran was there. Mbappe has 4 goals. Torres has 2. And we're out of the FA Cup. We lose 6-2. My midfielders had a horrible game. Riedewald had a bad game. Pellegrini had a bad game. Don't like what I just saw from this team. Yeah, we're young, but we should be better than that. So, we're going to save the game here real quick. Take a look at the schedule just to make sure I've got the sequence right. So yeah, we're going to play Everton offline and then do Borussia Dortmund away at home and then Arsenal. So we need an away goal at Borussia Dortmund, but we'll talk about that when we're in that game. So back with that match in just a bit. Well, we lost to Everton 3-1. It wasn't the best of games. Elise missed a penalty kick. Richarlison scored in the 79th minute to kind of really put the final nail in the coffin. We had a lot of shots put on target. We had 2 woodwork hits, which really kind of hurt our chances as well. They had 1, which means the score could have been even worse. The slight possession advantage we had was just not worth it either. Clark and Pellegrini did not play well, which is a little bit concerning because I'm relying on them to get things done. So we got to make some changes here real quick. Got to get a Tribune goal. Bring Verscheren up. We got Ferguson in there for defensive right and defensive center. So we're going to get Malatini off and bring out Chaudhuri as possible midfield replacement. I'm going to switch Pellegrini and Perez. Bring on Clark. Make Pellegrini a pressing forward. On attack. Zagadou we're going to get off. We're going to bring on Ferguson. Anderson we're going to bring off. No, Anderson we're going to leave on. Even though he is nowhere near 100% match fit, he's better than, even at 80%, he's better than Malatini. And I already took Zagadou off, so I need some stability on the back line there. I want a close game or I want a tie game. It would be very, very nice. Olise. Sayoni. Back to Anderson. Anderson over to Ferguson. Ferguson to Guehi. Guehi over to Eze. Back to Guehi. Eze to Ferguson. Sayoni. Back to Anderson. Anderson all the way back to Iturbe, who bombs it forward. Headed down. Bellingham ends up with the ball. Kozlowski to Mukoko. He passes it up into space for Reina. Reina one-on-one. Iturbe got a hand on it. Knocked it out of bounds, so it's a corner kick to Dortmund. Guerrero sends it in, and Bellingham there with a header. Not. Well, it's early. Throw in. Bellingham. Pongarka can't get ahead on the ball. Is Clark going to get there? He is. Clark running up the left, cuts it inside, crosses it in. Pellegri's there. His header hits the crossbar and goes over. Inacio out to Guerrero. Back to Inacio, up to Brandt. Brandt up to Reyna. Reyna in a Iturbe blocks that, goes out of bounds for another Dortmund corner kick. And headed over the crossbar by Madden. Inacio to Hummels. Hummels out to Pongracic. He loses the ball, though. Ferguson back to Guehi. Guehi to Eze. Eze up into space. Clark got by the defender, and he powers it in for the goal, his 14th of the season. The youngster is doing quite well. Nice pass from Eze. Clark was able to run up on the ball and just absolutely rocketed a shot in. A little help from the equipment. Sometimes you need that. But seeing as how we watched Foden hang like 4 shots high and right. Throw in. Olise. Sayoni. Guehi. Back to Sayoni. Oh, Sayoni loses it. Guerrero ends up with the ball. Passes it up into space. Mullins all by himself. Nice long pass to Malin. Iturbe came up. Guessed right, he just guessed late. It was a nice effort by Malin. Iturbe, very nice save. Corner kick. Guerrero sends it in. Knocked away. Reyna's going to run down the loose ball. He cuts right. Holds it up. Tries crossing it in. Bounces it off a Palace player. Goes out for a Dortmund corner. Guerrero sends it in again. Kasunu knocks it away. Pongracic on the throw-in for Dortmund. Gets it to Bellingham. Over to Brandt. Brandt back to Bellingham. Down the field to Pongracic. Pongracic. Kozlowski. Mullins there. Iturbe makes the save. Anderson pounds it out of bounds. Man, it's been all Dortmund this first half. 14 shots, 8 on target for them. Hummels back to Guerrero. Kozlowski back to Guerrero. Back to Kozlowski. To Brandt. Over to Mullin. How is that not offsides? He had the flag up. Okay. Small favors. Small favors. Going into half, it has been all Borussia Dortmund. 19 shots, 10 on target, are 4-2. Possession's about equal. We've completed less passes. We've won more. We've won less tackles. We've won more headers, but it really hasn't helped us. We're going to go attacking. We'll push the line a little forward to see if that helps us out. Kasunu, Pellegrini. Pellegrini to Olise. Olise to Sayoni. Sayoni all the way back to Iturbe. Iturbe powers it forward. Heads up. Clark is there. And Bijlow, a very nice save. Clark was well offsides, apparently. Mukoko. Ignacio heads that over the crossbar. Mukoko again. Ignacio hits the post. It's knocked away. Guehi has not had the best match. Bring Riedewald on for him. Elise hasn't had the best match either. We'll bring Fatu on for him. Ferguson to Riedewald. Riedewald passes up to Clark. Clark has room, and he scores. Again, his 15th goal of the season, second of the game for the youngster. Riedewald up into space. Clark just ran by the defenders. Nice effort by Bigelow, but Clark placed it high and tight into the upper right corner. Man, he's got a future ahead of him. Riedewald to Stockbridge on the throw-in. Riedewald crosses it in. Pligri's there, but it goes right at Bigelow. Bigelow bombs it forward. Anderson knocks it down. Fatuwu inside, then outside, back to Kasunu. Long pass across the field to Riedewald. Riedewald foots it down, goes outside, crosses it. Clark is there, off Bigelow and in. What happened here? It was a nice cross and a decent header. Bigelow got a hand on it, but it's like he wasn't expecting the ball to come in. I drop back down to balanced. Pligri on the right. Crosses it in again. Clark is there, but he can't get a head on it. Bellingham to Hazard. Hazard bombs it forward. Brandt is there. He gets it back. Vigna is there. Too far for Mallon to catch up to it. Riedewald to Eze. Eze up into space for Clark. Clark again one-on-one. And Bigelow, a very nice stop. Eze. Anderson. Bigelow, a very nice save. Anderson's gassed, but I don't have any more replacements. I brought Verscheren on for Seone because Seone was just as gassed. And we escaped from Borussia Dortmund with a 3-2 victory, thanks to a hat-trick's worth of goals by Jordan Clark. Why is his work rate going down? He's not the fastest or the paciest. He's got great determination. He's got good dribbling, nice finishing. 2-star current ability, 17 years old, capped at the under-20s. He will definitely, he's going to be a superstar. He might not be world's best 11, but he's going to be one of those players that over here we call it, you have the Hall of Fame for all your really good players. He's probably going to be in the Hall of Very, Very Good. Holy cow, that was nice. And that's 3 away goals we scored in Dortmund. So it gives us a chance as well. Stockbridge is out the next match because he picked up a yellow card. That's going to hurt us because he's been pretty solid in the midfield. And I got Chowdhury on. I can bring Chowdhury on to replace him. Okay, we saved the game. So we're going to play Arsenal offline. You know what? We got the draw coming up. Let's see who we might be facing. I want to get our hopes up. Borussia Dortmund is one of those teams that could easily lay 6 or 7 on us if we let this go to our heads. Okay. So this is going to be the quarterfinal draw. So we're going to place either Porto or Sevilla. It's going to be Wolfsburg or Shakhtar or Saint Etienne or Lazio. All very good teams. And the club expectation was for us to get to the first knockout round, which we've done. That's really nice. Oh, you can't do a tree view. You have to go to the first knockout round for the tree? Yeah, that makes sense. God, they beat Maccabi Tel Aviv 10-2 for crying out loud. So we've got Arsenal coming up. We're going to play them offline. We're going to come back for our home stretch against Borussia Dortmund here in just a bit. The game crashed on me. I'm not quite sure how. It's the first time FM22 has crashed on me. It's crashed on me with a 1,000-year save I'm doing over here. I'm pointing and you can't see it over here on the laptop. That's a graphics error. That's related to the fact I'm doing a really long save with a lot of data loaded, and it's a bunch of behind-the-scenes little things that after a while all add up and cause the graphics driver to crash. This one here, the game just threw some generic error and ended. And because I saved it after the last game, which is why I do stuff like this, we're doing the draws again. So Borussia Dortmund or us are going to face Fenerbahce or Borussia Mönchengladbach. I think that's different. I'd have to go back and watch the rest of the episode, except this is still that episode and I had it paused, so I don't want to do that. And then Porto Sevilla, San Sebastian. Yeah, that's different. Because we had this other group. Yeah, so either way, it happens. It's rare. It used to happen a lot more in FM 18 and 19. There would be times where I would score and it would go to the 3D replay because I played in 2D and the game would error out there. And it was just annoying as hell. That's where I really got into the habit of saving before a game and saving after a game. And it's become almost ingrained because stuff like that happens. So we got Arsenal coming up in 2 days. It's going to be a good game. They're in 6th place. So we got our work cut out for us, and we're not exactly 100% match fit. And, of course, we got Borussia Dortmund coming up 4 days after that. So, we'll be back with that in just a bit. We lost to Arsenal 3-2. Verschaeren had a goal. Gabriel Veron had a goal. We got off to a flying start, and then Vradi had a goal. Odegaard had a goal, and then Anthony got a goal in the 70th minute to put it away. I was playing for the draw, and it was a stupid thing to do. We had some really good performances. We had some not-so-good performances. It was a fairly rotated side just simply because of when we were playing and who we were playing. And the trivia was not all that great between the sticks. We have our youth intake, which I missed because it was literally on the 16th, 3 days ago. And I was busy working up some schedules. Not the deepest. Some interesting good talents that are, 3-star potential. So what we'll look at here is Shedrack Adebayo. He is an inverted winger on the left side. Physically not bad. Mentally, the determination and flair are nice. The positioning, vision, and bravery are just horrible. Crossing, first touch. Passing and technique. Passing and technique aren't bad. Everything else is kind of on the low side. But you know what? We will go ahead and offer him a contract. Because, at the very least, he's going to be one of those kids, I suspect, who, if he never sees the light of day for the first team, I can sell for a little bit of money. Because he'll be like a good League One player sort of thing. Romel Sinclair from Jamaica, Yaman. I sound a lot better doing that when I'm drunk. I sound a lot better with accents when I'm really drunk. It's just a thing. Let's see. Another winger on the left, but also primarily a striker. Decent acceleration, good natural fitness, good pace. Not too great everywhere else. The force strength is really kind of hurting him, plus the fact he's 5'9", 127 pounds. But he's aggressive, so he's a scrapper. 17 determination, 12 flair. Nice teamwork, nice work rate. Concentration needs help. Everything else is workable, so got a decent dribbling skill. Nice first touch. You know what? We'll go ahead and sign him too. And then Gus Brophy, an inverted wingback on the right, who physically is okay. His strength will get better. His stamina will get better. I'm reasonably sure his acceleration will get better if everything else stays the same. That's not bad. I mean, the pace would be nice if it went up too. Mentally, very aggressive. Decent decision-making. Decent bravery. Good teamwork. Good work rate. Technically, horrible. The marking's nice. The technique is nice. The tackling's nice for what he is. And at 15 years old, that's not a lot to complain about, really. I mean, there's lower league players who would kill for this sort of talent. So, you know what? We are going to sign him. Then, Tyler Harding from Barbados. Another left winger. That side pretty much explains it all. He's a good balance, good natural fitness. Nothing else is really standoutish. Mentally, decent determination, good bravery, good work rate. Nothing else stands out. His positioning is on the low side, but that could go up. Crossing's decent. Dribbling's decent. First touch is nice. He's a good long thrower. The passing is subpar for the moment. The technique is subpar as well. But again, 15 years old, so can definitely improve. We'll get him into the system for a few years, see what happens. And then Abdoulaye Boateng, 1.5-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. They're saying he's a false 9. Well, he's definitely not a target man. That is an interesting mix of really good with really bad. The acceleration and the agility are nice. The natural fitness is nice. The strength is horrible. The jumping are just horrible. But then again, he's 5 foot 321 pounds. Comes deep to get the ball, runs the ball off. I can see why they're saying he's a false 9. Good decision making, good flair, good leadership. The determination is also on the low side. The teamwork is nice. If it weren't for the fact he had a low determination, the mentals are actually fairly solid. Technically, good dribbler, nice first touch, can't really finish yet. He's not a passer, but he's got a good technique. We'll sign him. Everyone else is kind of 2.5 stars below. We won't look at them. But we know we got a Welshman in. We got a guy from Nigeria in. We got an Irishman in. That's not too shabby. They came in 3 days ago. I was busy scouting. I went down the rabbit hole of, hey, who else is out there that I haven't looked at recently? And it's, 45 minutes later. So we'll get through this here. Then we'll set up for our home match against Borussia Dortmund. U19 Champions Cup, Davio Bobson. So this is where screen flow comes into play. You get something like this, the U19 Champions Cup. Davio Bobson currently leads everybody with 7 goals. He's not going to show up on the internationals because he's not an international player. He hasn't been capped. And for some countries, that's going to happen, especially your bigger countries with good youth systems like Brazil. And that they have such a dearth of really good youth players. International caps are kind of the top tier of those players. But the players just below them are just as good as some of those players. And so you have a player like this guy, Davio Bobson, a winger on the left, who, in looking at him, just what we know of him already, he's not a great finisher, but he's going to have decent first touch, decent heading, decent passing, decent acceleration, decent jumping reach, decent pace. You know what? We'll scout him. We'll see what happens. We'll put a pin in it and come back and say, what's going on here? And he's wanted by PSV, so that's always an interesting thing as well. And he's available for loan. He's 20 years old. If he had any starts, he plays for young Ajax. And he had 12 goals in 29 games for them, which is not bad. We had 10 players called up for international duty. Jordan Clark was again called the England under-20s. Tom Pearce and Sean Smith were called up for the England under-19s and under-18s respectively. Fatua was called up for the Ghanaian team. Guehi and Kasuna were called up for Cote d'Ivoire. Casey Langagne was called up for Grenada. And Teo Admiral was called up for Republic of Ireland. I usually don't set international instructions just because I don't want to piss the international coaching off. And frankly, I trust them to do the right thing. However, it gets to the point where it's like, they're sending my players back to me injured or something like that. I'll say, okay, 45 minutes sort of thing. There was one version of FM, I think it was 17 or 18, where you would set your international instructions and the international coaches would be like, yeah, those are more of a guideline, really. I know you said 45 minutes, but he's going to play all 120 minutes of a game and then come back to you absolutely knackered. It's going to be a long episode. We got a lot of dead space in this, though, I can tell. So the only one who's really kind of questionable now is Zagadou, and he's unhappy with my press statements. Admirola is still injured. He will be back in 4 days. Otherwise, I would have him on the bench. So this is what we're going to do. We got a Turban goal. Riedewald, Zagadou, Anderson, and Kasunu as the defensive back four. Chowdhury and Sayoni. No, we don't want Chowdhury. We can't have him. That's right, because he is out because he got too many L's. Chowdhury and Sayoni as the midfielders. Olise and Fatou as the attacking midfielders. Clark and Pellegrini up top as the strikers. We have a 1-goal advantage. Olise sends it in, and it went straight in. And they're going to call Pellegrini offsides, and the goal's not going to count. Son of a gun. Bijlow to Can, up to Mullen. Poulsen breaking right. Centers it in, and Reyna's there. Something tells me we may have used up all of our luck in Dortmund. Riedewald sends it in. Fatou can't get there before Vigna knocks away. Kasunu chests it down. Gets it back to Anderson. Up to Sayoni. To Fatou. Pellegrini feeds Fatou. He breaks right. Jordan Clark is there, but he can't out-jump the defender on Johnny Riedewald. Back to Olise. Olise takes the shot, and he scores. I brought in Fatou because I was expecting Olise to move in the January transfer window, and I had a bunch of teams come close to offering his release fee, and none of them ever matched it, so I didn't sell him. So he's here. So I have Eze, Olise, and Fatou for my midfield choices. And for the moment, I'm playing Olise on the left and Fatou on the right, and it seems to be working out okay. Bellingham went off injured. Clark. Oh, he gives the ball away. Kozlowski to Mullen. Dahoud. Oh, feeds Poulsen. Oh, nice sliding tackle save there. Corner kick for Dortmund. Dahoud sends it in. Zagadou knocks it away. Fatou heads it forward. I'm not quite sure why. Looks like we may have to get Olise off. Kozlowski. Back to Vigna. To Kozlowski. He crosses it in. Reyna can't get there. Olise bangs it out of bounds. Let's see what's going on with him. And what they say it is. Potential knee injury. Wants to stay on, but the injury is affecting him. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring Eze on. Because better safe than sorry. Inacio up to Kozlowski. Headed away, but Reyna ends up with it after some back and forth. Mullen back to Kozlowski. Out to Vigna. To Mullen. Oh, bad pass. Sayoni ends up with it after Zagadou intercepts it. Fatou. Back to Sayoni. Sayoni, Kasunu. Kasunu to Anderson. Anderson all the way back to Iturbe. He bombs it forward towards Pierce. Pierce isn't going to win a jumping game. Riedewald to Chowdhury. Riedewald feeds Clark, rather. I keep getting him and Pierce mixed up. Pierce is my other young striker. Oh, that would have been a beautiful shot. Pierce is my other young striker who is... He's about a year behind in terms of Clark, in terms of development. I'm going to put him out on loan next year, hopefully with Coventry. And he will get a decent amount of playing time there and come back. And then he and Pierce are going to be my strikers up top. We're doing really well. I will be happy with a 1-1 draw. 60 minutes in, I'm not going to make any changes unless I absolutely have to. Kasunu, Sayoni, Fatou, back to Kasunu, Sayoni. I'm totally pronouncing that name wrong. It's probably Seoan. Oh, nice save by Iturbe. He got just enough on it to deflect it. And headed out of bounds on the ensuing corner kick. Reyna, they're saying Zagadou's gassed. Let's take a look at that here. No, he's not gassed. He's still in the orange. Turbe to Anderson. Back and forth. Turbe bombs. My God, why are you doing that? Riedewald ends up with it. Gets the ball to Pellegrini. Pellegrini back to Kasunu. Kasunu to Anderson. Anderson up to Fatuo. To Seoane. Well, we keep calling him Seoane. Clark. He's Riedewald. Eze. You know what? I got to check. After this, we'll check something out. Riedewald. And Reyna steps in front of the pass. Paulson bangs it forward. Malin is there. Malin goes wide. It's literally 1 against 9. He gets it back to Paulson. To Hood. Can. Feeds Kozlowski. That's fine. It's tied. And we have the away goal advantage. I'm not going to look at the replay. Clark's not exactly a jumper. Is 11 heading 8 or 8 heading 11 jumping? I think what we are going to do though is bring on Verone. Get Clark off. I only want whipped crosses. Come on, guys, no more highlights. Fatu went out with an injury. Okay, we'll bring on Verscheren. And we are in extra time. Of course we are. Hazard. Corner kick in. Knocked away. Chowdhury loses the ball. Brandt back to Hazard. And Poulsen scores. Son of a gun. Are they not doing away goals in place of ties now? That's my fault. I'm operating under a set of assumptions, and you know what happens when you assume. Riedewald. Eze. Riedewald to Zagadou. Seoane. Chowdhury. Back to Riedewald. Eze. Up for Clark. Up between the defenders. Takes a shot off the crossbar. Poulsen heads it down to Kozlowski. Brandt lofts the ball. Kasunu heads it down to Iturbe, who makes the acrobatic save. Probably out of necessity more than anything else. We're on the very attacking. We're pressing. We're marking closely. We're trying to do everything we can to get the ball back. Last chance. Riedewald on the throw-in. Gives the ball away, but gets it right back. Seoane crosses in. Pellegrini's there. Kasunu. Seoane. Oh, he's offsides. He's way offsides. Way offsides. It's my own fault. God. Son of a bitch. We had them. We had them. We had them. We had them. Three from 7 extra time subs. So that was the quarterfinals. Extra time played if scores are level after 90 minutes. Second knockout round. Extra time played if scores are level after 90 minutes. Quarterfinals. Extra time played if scores are final after 90 minutes. Unreal. Clark pulled his groin. He's out. Elise is out for a week. Fatu is out for a week. Eze's out for a couple of days. Received 1.2 million, and Casper Hellman is there looking at Joachim Anderson for his next team. We really had a chance. I think what we're going to do... United City's got a lock on first place. The battle is going to be all about 2nd through 6th. I need to take a screenshot of this real quick. And we've got... Who do we have coming up? We've got Villa, they're mid-table. We got United, Chelsea, Norwich, Leeds. They're bottom of the table. Brighton, they're mid-table. Sheffield United is 15th right now, and Southampton, who are 9th. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back for Brighton and Southampton. We're going to skip the Sheffield United game. I want to play Brighton because they're our derby team, and why not? You know, it'd be kind of a shame not to play that. Plus, it's at home here at Selhurst. So we're going to do that. We're going to skip the entire month of April. And I'm going to probably log off for a bit and stew over the fact that we had Borussia Dortmund on the ropes where we wanted them. And we gave it away because I didn't know the rules. I was playing for the draw instead of playing for the win. Any thumping sounds you hear will be my head at my desk having a conversation because it's that sort of thing. Numpty and a half. And on the whole, the month of March has not been good to us. We're out of the FA Cup, we're out of the Euro Cup. I'm not happy about that. Well, I think we're just going to end it on that note. I really don't have anything else to add. If you did like what you've seen and heard, please have a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticisms, comments, leave those down below. I'd be interested in your feedback on this one. Should I have done the second half of the Borussia Dortmund game differently? Should I have just played for, should I have gone cautious? Should I have played for the draw? Should I have played only to lose by a little bit instead of losing by a lot? You know, it's frustrating. Anyhow, my name is FM Jellicoe. I thank you for watching.